gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, we are 4 days away from WrestleMania. This is the WrestleMania weekend, Thursday through Sunday. 31 shows, 33 shows, something stupid like that, with like 200 plus matches going on in New York area, New York, New Jersey. Just a lot of wrestling to take in. Almost all of it is going to be on Fight TV. They had two big packages. They had the WWN package, which involved a lot of shows, and then they had a GCW, Game Changer Wrestling package. So a lot of shows. I'm gonna try to take in as many as I can, get reviews and stuff up. I'm gonna concentrate mainly on the big ones at first, and kind of do those other reviews as you know. So you might see a freaking Takara review up in 2 weeks that happened WrestleMania weekend, or you might see whatever some of the other little indie shows that happen. You might see a review through Robert Sports Show over the next couple weeks. All right, but we're going to WrestleMania, the best WrestleMania, the best WrestleMania matches. I got the 10 best women matches, the 15 best men's matches throughout the history of WrestleMania. So I'm actually happy that the women are main eventing. Make sure if you haven't already, check out the WrestleMania main event rankings. I did those also here on Robert Sports Show. I ranked the takeover match main events as well. So we're going to get the 10 best women's matches. We have three set for this show. We have the Battle Royal. We have the, which is a pre-show match that I really count in these totals. So in the main card, looks like we have the women's tag titles, and we have the main event for title versus title. More than likely, both of those will be on this rankings for the women's title matches next year. So these first four were just kind of there. WrestleMania 18, women's title. We had champion Jazz versus Lita versus Trish Stratus. Jazz getting the victory. Lita and Trish Stratus were ahead of their time. If they were in this era with the ability that they had, they'd be your fucking top two. Could you imagine a Lita, Trish, Charlotte triple threat match? When Lita and Trish were in their prime? Fuck. Lita and Trish versus Bayley and Sasha? That's how great they were in an era where women's wrestling was just brawl and painted matches and, mud matches and stuff. I gave that 2. Next up, we had WrestleMania 21. We had Trish Stratus versus Christy Hemme. Trish retained the title. I give that match 2 as well. WrestleMania 10, number 8 on the list, women's title. Alundra Blaze defending the title versus Leonie Kai. Again, these are two women that were so above their era that in that era, a women's match was 5 minutes. Today, a women's match could be 15-20. And so it's not like the women have gotten that much better. We notice it more. We look at it more. We realize this is a wrestling match, not just a joke, not just a, Playboy pillow fight, which actually happened at WrestleMania. Alundra Blaze got the victory here. Next up, number 7 on the list comes from WrestleMania 22, Mickie James versus Trish Stratus. Given time, this match would have been great. Mickie won. I'm going to give it a 2-star. But, it was just kind of there. Number 6 on the list comes from WrestleMania 19, Trish Stratus versus Victoria versus Jazz. Trish winning the title from Victoria. I give it 2 1/4. WrestleMania 33, we had SmackDown Women's title on the line in the 6-pack challenge. We had champion Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch versus Naomi versus Mickie James versus Natalya versus Carmella. This is during the Women's Revolution. We would just pile as many women as we can in the match. Matter of fact, the next 4 matches, the next 5 matches, all have been in the last 3 WrestleManias. So that tells you where the level of women's wrestling has gone. Naomi and them getting the victory there, I gave it 2 1/2. Number 4 on the list comes from WrestleMania 34, the Raw Women's title. We had Nia Jax versus champion Alexa Bliss. Nia getting the victory. I gave it 2 3/4. I am actually good with Nia Jax as a singles wrestler. I know a lot of people are not. That, again, opinion. 85% your opinion, 15% fact. She has a match. NXT London, TakeOver London versus Asuka. I thought it was really, really good. I need to go back and rewatch it. But now I get a victory here. I gave it 2 3/4. Number 3 on the list comes from WrestleMania 33. It was a 4-way elimination match for the Raw Women's title. It was Bayley versus Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair. Bayley getting the victory. I gave it 2 3/4. The next two are probably above and beyond the 2 best women's matches, if not of all time for WWE, at least for WrestleMania. WrestleMania 32, women's title, Charlotte Flair champion versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. I give it 4. 4-star. Charlotte winning. That may be the kind of match we see Sunday. Pull Sasha out, insert Ronda Rousey. So you can have Charlotte and Becky doing their thing, Ronda doing her thing. This match is going to work. It's going to be great. It's going to have Becky winning both titles. We all know that. We all see it coming. But I think, it's going to be great. I'm hoping. I hope they don't fuck it up. So yeah, that was 4-star. Now the best match, women's match in WrestleMania history last year. WrestleMania 34, SmackDown Women's title. Champion Charlotte Flair versus Royal Rumble winner Asuka. Streak on the line. Asuka has never been pinned. Not only did Charlotte go out and put on a 4.5-star match against Asuka, she pinned Asuka and retained her title, beat Asuka's streak. Woo! Charlotte Flair. I mean, is she missed WrestleMania? Because the 2 best matches in WrestleMania history, matter of fact, the 3 best matches in WrestleMania history for women, WrestleMania 32, 33, and 34, she was in all 3, and she'll be in 35, and that probably will be right around, it'll definitely, if it's more than 2 3/4, it'll be top 3. So the 4 best women's matches in WrestleMania history, Charlotte will be a part of. Alright, on to the boys. We have the 15 best men's matches. There's been so many. Number 15 came from WrestleMania 35 Intercontinental title. Seth Rollins versus The Miz versus Finn Balor. Seth winning. I gave it 4.5. Number 14 on the list comes from WrestleMania 28 Hell in a Cell. Special referee Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. The Undertaker versus Triple H. Told a great story. Undertaker winning the match. I gave it 4.5. Number 13 on the list, WrestleMania 17, WWF title, Stone Cold versus The Rock. Stone Cold winning. Well, I gave that match 4.5. Number 12 on the list comes from WrestleMania 29, The Undertaker versus CM Punk. I love the build of this because the build was completely done by Punk and not with Taker there at all. Taker showed up at Mania. That's all Taker did. I mean, that's the cool thing about Undertaker. You can build things around him and him not have to be there because you can do the lightning, you can do the caskets, you can do the what are they called? The guys in the hoods and stuff. And you can do all that stuff and Taker doesn't even have to show his face. Punk built that. Match was great, I thought. I give it 4.5. Number 11 on the list comes from WrestleMania 31, WWE title. Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Seth cashing in the Money in the Bank. 4.5. Number 10 on the list comes from WrestleMania 21. Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels. Wow, what a match this was. Mr. WrestleMania versus the Olympic gold medalist, who won a Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck. Kurt's retiring this year. I hate the fuck his last match against Baron Corbin. God fucking damn it. Why? God damn, why? At least his last SmackDown and Raw match were versus AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. He had great history with them in TNA. I thought that was pretty fitting. I had anybody on the fucking roster except for fucking Baron Corbin here. Whatever. So WrestleMania 10, Kurt Angle beating Shawn, 4.5-star match. WrestleMania 30, number 9 on the list, WWE title, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Dave Bautista. Daniel getting the victory there at WrestleMania 30, 4.5. Number 8 on the list, We go back to the beginning. We go back to WrestleMania 3. Intercontinental Championship on the line. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage. 4.5-star match. WrestleMania 3. This is 1988. A match that to this day is still one of the greatest WrestleMania matches ever. The Dragon winning it over Savage to become Intercontinental Champion. Number 7 on the list comes from WrestleMania 17. World Tag Titles. Yep, y'all know where I'm going with this. Tables, ladders, and chairs. The Triangle TLC match, Edge and Christian versus the Dudleys versus the Hardys. The year before, they had a Triangle ladder match that everyone thought was great. Let's add tables and chairs to it and make it even better. Just for record, I gave the Triangle ladder match, the WrestleMania 16, I gave it 4.5. And it just barely, I put the IC title on the list over that from WrestleMania 35. Because I knew this match was on here. I wrote the list. Alright, number 6. WrestleMania 13 submission match. Special ref Ken Shamrock. We had Bret the Hitman Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold didn't tap out. Stone Cold passed out. Bret getting a victory there. I gave it 4 3/4. Great match. WrestleMania 20, number 5 on the list. World title. The Crippler, Chris Benoit. Yes, I know Chris Benoit murdered his whole family. I only talk about Chris Benoit, what he did in the ring. Chris Benoit versus champion Triple H versus the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. Chris Benoit becoming world champion. At that time, Chris Benoit was one of the greats in the business. Watching him and Eddie Guerrero do cruiserweight matches on WCW and then get to WWE and become both world champions. And this night, they both had a world title. Great moment in professional wrestling. WrestleMania 4. Number 4 on the list. WrestleMania 10. Brother versus brother. Owen Hart versus Bret Hart. Straight up. First match of the show. Owen Hart won the match. 4 3/4 star. Unbelievable match. Especially the start of Mania. But just these two technical wrestlers. Bret always says he's the best there was, best there is, best there ever will be. If the Blue Blazer hadn't jumped out of the roof of Kemper Arena and unfortunately fell to his death, Owen Hart may be the best in the world. If you don't remember Owen Hart matches or remember how great Owen Hart was, go back on the network and watch it. I think Owen might have been better than Bret. Just saying. Number 3 on the list also comes from WrestleMania 10. And neither of these matches were the main event. Are you fucking kidding me? We had a little ladder match. Little ladder match. WrestleMania 10. And y'all know where I'm going with this. There's like these 2 titles hanging up there. They're both Intercontinental titles. Some guy named Shawn Michaels. Yeah, whoever this guy was. Yeah. All jokes aside. The first ever really big ladder match. Intercontinental title on the line. It was 2 Intercontinental titles, actually. Shawn was Intercontinental Champion. Got hurt, got suspended. From what I've read online, it was a failure of a drug test. We don't know what it was or anything. It could have been just over the counter or whatever. He failed the wellness program, we call it now. Was suspended. It was kind of pushed under the rug. He got hurt. He was Intercontinental Champion. Well, they went ahead and vacated the title, had a tournament, Razor Ramon won the title. Well, Shawn comes back, hey, I'm Intercontinental Champion. Razor's like, no, I'm Intercontinental Champion. How do we settle this? Let's put both titles up on above the ladder, and let's have a ladder match to decide it. Roman Reigns. Razor Ramon. I wrote down Roman Reigns, it's funny. Razor Ramon ended up winning both titles, becoming the unified Intercontinental Champion. The cool thing about this match, it was a match, but yeah, it involved the ladder. The ladder was secondary. A lot of ladder matches today, the ladder is first and foremost. We do more with the ladder. Then it's like they had like 2 or 3 ladders. I think they had 2. And it was like, don't damage the ladder. So yeah, we really couldn't use the ladder like you can today. Today you go to Home Depot before the show, you buy a truckload of ladders, and there you go. But yeah, Razor Ramon getting the victory there, one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history. Just like I said with Charlotte being the top there in the women's matches, this guy named Shawn Michaels, he's 1, 2, and 3 on the men's matches as well. Matter of fact, 1 and 2, both were 4. These were all 4 3/4. These last few. Number 2 on the list, number 1 on the list. It's the difference is minute. It's whatever you as a wrestling fan like. I put WrestleMania 26, Streak vs. Career as number 2. Undertaker and Shawn, Taker winning. I give it 4 3/4. Number 1 on my list is WrestleMania 25. Shawn and Taker, Taker winning, 4 3/4. To me, the differences between these two matches is not much. 26 was like a repeat of 25. The one thing that made 25 stand out to me, there was a spot where Taker did his dive. He damn near killed himself. If he wouldn't have kind of tucked it over, he would have landed weird on his neck. And when he did it, he actually ran into a cameraman, which years later we found out was Sim Snuka, which is kind of funny. Jimmy Snuka's son, to me his brother, and took a hell of a shot for Taker then. But yeah, because when Taker dove over, because he was coming down like this on his neck, he had to flip it a little bit more so his back hit instead of his neck. It looked bad in person, and it looked even worse watching on TV. But yeah, little spots like that kind of, when you see a guy as big as The Undertaker walking on the ropes and doing dives, it's like, whoa, this is cool. I know as I watch independent wrestling today, I see people do moves like that, and Spanish Fly is one of my favorite moves, and watching like an El Fantasma over in Europe doing walking the top ropes, who will be actually debuting in New Japan Pro Wrestling soon. Cannot wait for El Fantasma in New Japan. But yeah, just seeing that kind of moves, like some of the stuff Taker did, it's just freaking amazing. So yeah, so that's my best WrestleMania matches. Make sure you check out the main event rankings as well. Make sure you check out the preview of everything, all the previews I'll have up. So as always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.